All right, okay, so last Monday I had a ton of fun in North Jersey with my buddy Sammy and Amadis Hernandez. All right, Sammy, come close. We're gonna show you the beauty.
6 feet apart.
Okay, so 6 feet. Hold on. Should we put the mask on? I got control of this stuff. Look at this. Okay, so this is Sam. Hi. He has the Sony a7S III, and first of all, this camera is really dope. Let me see that real quick. Yeah, if you don't know who they are, they have YouTube channels. You guys check them out down below. Good friends of mine. And as a matter of fact, Amadis made this shirt. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. And this video is pretty much for those that are either wanting to start YouTube or have a studio space, not sure what they want to do. I actually had a few people on Instagram reach out to me regarding my studio setup. You know, some of the things that I'm doing as far as audio, maybe video, setup, and all that stuff, and even my process. So that's something that could be done for another video, but I figured I'd just talk about like the gear that I'm using, alternatives, because I do have alternatives. So hopefully this video works out for you. And yeah, hopefully you guys like it. By the way, this is the EOS R, not the R5 or the R6. You know, I'm sorry, I'm not that popular enough to get it. LensRentals.com actually has the R5 and the R6 for rent, but obviously it's taken already, so I had to wait a little bit. So I figured I'd get the 35 1.8 and use it for a couple of shoots and maybe some videos and maybe, you know, do some tests with the 35 1.4 Sigma, and that'd be cool. Anyway, this video, we're gonna talk about my YouTube setup for 2020 and give you some alternatives if you're just starting off in YouTube, and hopefully it helps you guys out. Okay, now the very first thing you want to think about is location. Now, I know like it sounds kind of cliche, like location, but it's important. Does this mean you need like a super huge studio space? No, you don't. Don't get tricked, guys, because sometimes these people have like the smallest corner in their room and they're just decked out really cool. If you've been following me since the past year and a half or two, definitely changed spaces. I was upstairs, now I'm downstairs because the family grew, they need the space, and I'm down here in the basement. I gutted the whole basement out, and so now I had to create like these two fake walls right behind me, as you see, and paint them. So 2 pieces of sheetrock, some 2x4s, and some gray paint. Did it, and that's it. Now, since I have 2 sides here, I actually have some of the stuff that I had upstairs. I brought them downstairs, like the couch and the little lamp that I have, and now I've added a few more accessories to it. Now, once you get to a point where you kind of like want to make the room a little bit better and brand yourself, then yeah, think about those type of decors and, you know, paintings or some neon lights and some crazy gizmos and gadgets that you want to have on your wall or on your desk. Which brings me to the next topic, which is lighting. Now there are a few options that I'm going to give you guys. There's a free option and then there's the paid option. Free option is just using a simple window light, you know, whether it's early morning or toward golden hour, but if you have like some type of diffusion on the window, you can get it nice and soft. Definitely try to avoid like harsh lighting where you're going to get like raccoon eyes or just harsh lines on your face. When it comes to natural light, you have to be careful with the time of day and when it's transitioning, because the sun does move, so it might mess up your shot if you're not paying attention to it. When it comes to artificial lighting, I'm going to give you guys a few options here, and the very first one is what I'm using right now, which is the Godox SLB60W with daylight balance, and it's just a really awesome light. And as a matter of fact, you can get it cheaper now than what I paid for. I believe I paid 300 bucks for it, and I think it's like under $200 or around 200 bucks. And this light is really awesome. It's like 95 CRI. Don't know what that is. It's just the quality of light. There's a cheaper alternative out there, which is the same light, but it's corded. If you've been following me on this channel before purchasing this specific light, I was using that Home Depot light, my key light. That was my main light. You can totally use this light. All you need to do is either bounce it off the wall, you can blast it through a 501 reflector, or you can even put it inside of an umbrella and have it bounce out. That way you can give a soft light. But yeah, that's the light that I was using for a while, for about a year, I think. And yeah, it's been good to me. I still have it here, just in case. So one confession I want to tell you guys is that I have no electrical outlets in these walls. I didn't decide to put them up there just because, well, I'm not a construction worker and I'm not gonna do that. I'm not burning nothing down. On some of my videos, you'll notice like sometimes I'll have like a kicker light or even some practical lighting like the lamp. Those are all like little mini lights from Aperture that I got. And I'm gonna leave them down in the description below. But you know, you don't necessarily have to have plugged in power to get stuff done. So you have your location, you have your light, little key light situation here, right? And now you gotta think about the camera. You can use a lot of cameras and there's different budgets out there, right? If you're interested in seeing that, I have no problem doing it. Just let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see alternative options, different budgets within camera gear. I'm currently using right now the Sony a6600 because it has a flip up screen and I can see myself. I also have a Sony a7 III with a monitor from Field World. It's a 4K monitor, that way I can see myself as well. But for portability, I'm using the a6600. I have an ASDEN microphone connected to it, a little bit more portability, a little more vloggy-ish. Also, usually in the studio I have the Sony a7 III as my main camera, which is back there. But for right now, I'm just using this just to have fun with it and, you know, give you guys a little depth of field. Whatever camera you're using, make sure you're just properly exposed. You have good audio plugged in, or if you're recording externally, you can sync it up later and just tell a good story and make sure the content's good. Okay, so we talked about location, lighting, and camera. Next thing we need to talk about is audio. Again, there's just so many options when it comes to audio. It can get confusing because I was confused as well when I started. Like, there's a ton of audio options out there. If you're more of a vlogger, I'm assuming that you're gonna use a shotgun microphone on your camera or even a lav mic system like the Rode Wireless Go. You know, those make sense. But then if you're in a studio, you might even want to have like a bigger shotgun microphone connected to like a recorder, like the Zoom H4, H5, H6, whatever you fancy. When it comes to lenses, you have your primes, you have your telephoto lenses, zoom lenses. What I'm currently using right now is a Sigma 16mm 1.4. I also have the Tamron 28-75, Sigma 35 1.4, and the Sony 85-1.8. I've used these lenses in various ways within my channel, in my studio set, and it really depends on what I'm shooting and like the angle and all that stuff. So we'll get into that. Usually when I'm shooting a table set like this, I'm shooting with a 16mm. Now if I'm using two cameras, I more than likely will use the 16mm as my main camera and use an overhead, maybe the 28-75 or vice versa. It really depends on what I'm doing it for. Usually when I'm shooting these wide angle shots and I'm just right here with you guys, I'm shooting with the 16mm 1.4. Sometimes I'm using the 28-75, but because of the fact that my aperture can go up to 1.4, I'm using that to bring in more light. Again, the outlets. I don't have a lot of light. But don't get me wrong, 28-75 works just as well. It's at 2.8, so there is still some nice blurry background. Normally I keep my camera at 500 ISO and then I am raising my power up to like 50%, 60% on this light, and that way it gives me better exposure. This goes back to my main concern with a bunch of people who are just trying to start off on YouTube or video and photography. You know, don't freak out and thinking that you have to spend so much money on gear. You know, you can buy it used. You can just stay on budget and work with what you have at the moment. And when you progress and you get some income or you do some side gigs, you know, you can replace the lens with a camera body and just get yourself something else better. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and gives you a little bit of an insight on what goes behind the scenes a little bit. If you want more videos regarding lens choices, camera options, let me know in the comments below. And also let me know what kind of gear you're using right now for your vlogs and for your client work. Thanks for watching this video, guys, and if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button below, share it with your friends, and all that good stuff. Until next time, stay awesome, stay fresh, keep creating. Peace.